What up, YouTube? This is GeoStealth1, and this is kind of like an update. A few people have asked me of, what initially happened when I bashed around with the RCs that I brought to the bash. And I'll start this off with the Emax. So, what we're looking at here is the Emax Brushless Edition, Mamba Monster, all that good stuff. And I ended up upgrading this RC, fully upgraded, except the shocks. And what do you know? The shocks were the first thing to go. So when I ended up breaking the bottom carrier for the shock, the cool part was that another RC enthusiast, his name is Roger, was able to give me another just a replacement. So I ended up installing it. Now, when I installed it, I didn't realize that the dog bone steel drive shaft from Traxxas broke as well. So, which was very, very, at this point, very disappointing to me, because I was only able to utilize this RC maybe 10, 15 minutes, and bashing around with it, which was very, very disappointing. So, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. I am going to get most likely the Proline shocks for this RC. And I'm going to change out the steel drive shafts, and I'm going to most likely go with the MIPs. So that's going to be a later on upgrade that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take the steel drive shafts that I have over here and put them into other RCs as backup, like my eRevo tank that has all the Traxxas steel drive shafts. So I'll have backup. The cool thing about the steel drive shafts is Traxxas warranties them. So I'm going to contact Traxxas because I have two of them that are broken, and have them replaced. So all in all, this RC was pretty cool. With the bash, I didn't get to play around with it too much, which was kind of annoying because I didn't film that much of the bash for myself. I do have videos that I have available, which I have to download to my PC, which is out of commission right now. But yeah, you know what? I tried to bash around with this and have a little bit of fun with the Emax, which I wasn't able to do. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Now we come to you with the Slash lower center of gravity 4x4, which personally I thought this was pretty badass. Of all the upgrades that I've done with this, the trenchers are a real excellent bash tire. So if you do plan to get a Slash, either the LCG or the regular one, go with the trenchers. I mean, they have different types. They have the Trencher X's and they have the regular trenchers. I have these I believe these are not the X's, these are the regular ones from what I see. Yeah. So definitely acquire something like that if you want to bash around with. Nothing broke on this RC, which I was able to do a lot of jumps with it, and I did a little bit of drag racing with it as well. Nothing broke on this RC, but the only problem that I found with this RC, which has been resolved, is if you look at the bottom of it, I have the Dusty Motors shroud on it. Now, every single time it would get caught up underneath it. I believe I ended up contacting one of the guys from Dusty Motors, and this issue has been addressed. They recently just released the new shroud, which I should be getting soon, which just covers underneath right here, and it's not on the bottom of the chassis, which is definitely a good sign. But all in all, it did its job without keeping out rocks and everything like that within my chassis, which is definitely a good buy at this point. The only problem was this ended up coming out. So, yeah, all in all, nothing really broke on this, which made me happy, because, less work for me to deal with. But I will be doing a few more upgrades. Like I said, I have to get the Dusty Motor shroud for this. And I do have an upgrade which no one has gotten yet. So hopefully I could be the first one to introduce it to you, and should be good to go. Now we come to you with Stampinky. Now, by far, extreme bashing wise, this RC was phenomenal. Now, as you guys noticed in a few of the videos of the bash, if you go to CML 1980, or just definitely check out his latest videos, you're gonna notice that there was some pretty intense jumps. We ended up bringing a few skateboard ramps and started launching a few things out there. And by far, Thing was doing quadruple jumps, which I thought was insane, for this RC. And nothing broke. The drive shafts didn't break. The internal diffs didn't break. I cracked it open. I'm like, wow, everything seems pretty solid. The arms, well, they held up because they're RPM arms, and I have the RPM. Pretty much everything is RPM. Yeah, everything is RPM'd on this. The only thing that you haven't seen that I've upgraded on this is I ended up going with the aluminum hex hubs for these trenches because there's a lot of torque on this RC, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't stripping anything out. That's also that I did on my Slash 4-wheel drive. So if you want to look at the body that I utilized, this is the Ford Raptor body from Proline. It got a little bit abused. I was never going to utilize this body because of the paint scheme. So I said, you know what, make it a basher and do what I have to do. I do have to, I guess, redo these holes. Maybe, I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to utilize. Probably go to Home Depot, get something strengthening that area up. But other than that, this thing lasted like a champ. I went through 3 batteries with this RC, and I thought it was phenomenal. Now, just to give you a heads up, I was running the Venom 11.1 3-cell and 5,000 milliamp, which was phenomenal. Now, people were getting worried about what C rating was it. I believe I had a 35C in there. I was not able to use the 50C batteries that were in my tool pouch. So who knows? They said the Venom doesn't like that. But I just wanted to give you guys an update of primarily what initially was done with this bash. There will be a bash coming up very soon. I'm going to make announcements for it. And I'm going to have a trail riding announcement if you guys are interested in that. That should be coming up very soon. So hopefully you guys will be able to go over there and meet up with me. I met up with a lot of cool YouTube fans out there, and it was a really cool event. I think the next time, now that we're getting a little bit more prepared, it was more of a get together of YouTube enthusiasts, which I thought was by far one of the coolest things I've seen. So hopefully next time we can go over there, we can bring a little bit more food. We can have a little bit more drinks available and stuff like that. Now that I already went with Chris from CML 1980, he was able to get me more enlightened on the stuff that I should bring, like a table. That's something that was definitely needed out there. So he goes by the Everyday RC as well. So definitely check out his channel. He has a lot of cool videos. He's gonna be one of my guys who is gonna get me into the Losi 5T. So hopefully I'll have that Losi by Christmas. We shall see. I know people want me to stray away from Traxxas. Don't get me wrong. I love my Traxxas RCs. As you guys well may know from my videos, I did get the Axial SCX10 Jeep Rubicon, and I think the next RCs I will be getting, which will be the Losi 5T. I'm looking at the Axial Wraith, and well, we'll see what we do from that point on. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This is kind of like an update, after the bash events of what happened to my RCs and what broke and what you guys can look out for once you start backflipping your RCs and stuff like that. So rate, comment, subscribe, and to all my fellas up in YouTube, later.